Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sadashiva Samadambham Shankara Acharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Asmad Gurubhyo Namaha Sharada Sharadam Vadana Vadanambuje Sarvada Sarvadasmakam Sannidhim Kriyat Shri Sharada Parameshwarjai Namaha Vakyakaram Vararuchim Bhashyakaram Patanjalim Paninim Sutrakaram Cha Pranatosmi Munitrayam Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahavidyam Karavavahai तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम Namaste once again all of you.
Namaskaram.
Namaskaram.
Namaste Guruji.
Okay. Today the attendance, I think people are all very tired after Navaratri and all. So I don't know whether they will join us. 3 people have sent me leave notice. So at least 3 people I won't expect, but others I will expect to join. Otherwise, they should be sending me leave notice. Anyhow, we will go ahead with it. What we will do today is I will take you through some portions of Kridanta which we have not done. So we will do that, try complete it today, and then Friday again there is some more portion of Kridanta, and also there's Chitchana Prayoga. These two we will try to cover today and on Friday. Okay. So without wasting much time, I will straight away go to the lesson. Okay. So we have studied Kridantas in Kartari Prayoga, isn't it? We have seen a lot of Kridanta Pratyayas. Now we need to study the Kridantas used in Karmani and Bhave Prayoga. And also there are 3 Avyaya Krit Pratyayas. Also we have to study to complete the topic of Kridantas. Once we have done this, the topic of Kridanta is complete. So we will try to do that today and on Friday. So after that, after we complete these 2 topics, another useful topic which is Chitchana Prayoga, we need to study before we move to the lesson 23 of infant reader, because lesson 23 involves a lot of words, using this Chit and Chana Prayoga. So we will see all that in today and on Friday also. Okay. So Kritya Pratyayas, Karmani and Bhave, Karmani Bhave Cha. So Ashtadhyayi Sutras mention 6 Krit Pratyayas, and together they are called Krityas. Panini ji has given the name Kritya to these 6 Krit Pratyayas, and those Pratyayas are Yat, Kyap, Nyat, Tavyat, Tavya, Aniyar. These are the 6 Krit Pratyayas which come in the meaning of Karmani or Bhave. Okay, we will see the meanings. They are the Krityas are a subcategory of Krit Pratyayas. All Kritya Pratyayas are used in the same sense. The basic meaning is karma, object, that is Karmani Prayoga, and also Bhava, meaning of the Dhatu itself. So all these 6 pratyayas come in these meanings only, either karma or bhava, or sometimes it could be, depending on the context, we will have to interpret it. Either we take the karmani meaning or the bhava meaning. Okay. And again, based upon the context, they can also take additional meanings such as sense of direction, fitness, necessity, capacity, etc. Okay. So all these, meanings, these kritya pratyayas can come. So the meanings of all the 6 kritya ending pratyayas are object, which is karma, or action, bhava, which should be done, object or action which is fit to be done, object or action which is necessarily to be done, object or action which is possible to be done. So in all these 4 meanings, they can come. So we will have to see depending on how the sentence is, and mostly we will come across these kritya pratyayas, especially the last 3, tavyat, tavya and aniyar, in Shastras only, in Bhagavad Gita and also in other Shastras. They are more used in the form of a vidhilinga. That is, you should do these things. So in the Shastras only we have got all these injunctions and all that. So in that context, these usages is very, very important for us to understand. Even otherwise, in normal literature also, we may come across these pratyayas. So if we come across even in normal literature, we must be able to identify what is the pratyaya and also in what meaning that pratyaya has been used. So this is the very brief introduction to this kritya pratyayas. Okay. So after removal of the it letters, we can categorize these kritya pratyayas into 3 types. They are yat, kyap and nyat. They belong to one category. Because if we remove the it letters, the content is ya. In yat, it is the it letter. In kyap, ik and ip is the it letter, and in nyat, in and it is the it letter. If we remove those, the content is ya. And tavyat should be tavyat, not tavyata. Tavyat and tavya. The content is tavya only because this it here, I'll correct it right away. This is tavyat. Okay. So this it is a it letter. So if you remove that it letter, tavya and tavya both are same. The content is tavya only. And third category is aniya. Here refa is the it letter. So you remove that, it becomes aniya. So these usages, we will see some examples of these usages. Okay. And it letters, Paniniji has added to these letters in order to determine or show how the anga should be modified based upon these it letters. For example, the dhatu nya is there and it takes yat kritya pratyaya, it becomes nyeya. So what he has done is he has used this yat, this takara it letter, to show that when yat is suffixed, the a, dirgha a of the dhatu is modified into a. So it becomes nyeya. Nya plus yat becomes nyeya. That which should be known. Okay, nyeya. Then similarly, stu dhatu. It takes, stu means to praise. It takes kyap pratyaya. It becomes stutya. So now kyap only is ya is the content of kyap. But when the kyap is added to a dhatu which is ending in a hraswa sound, like stu, then a tukka agama is to be added. And that is indicated because by this ip. Ip is pit. Ip it, right? So he has done that by adding this ip to this kyap to indicate that whenever this pit agama is or pit it letter is to be used, pratyaya with the pit pratyaya is to be used, a tukkagama is to be added. So that is why it becomes 2 plus it plus ya stutya. So this is the another thing that we have to remember when we come across the word stutya. Stutya means that which should be worshipped. Okay, that which is worth of worshipping. All those meanings it can come. Worthy of worshipping. So this tukkagama will come, and that is only when the dhatu is ending in a haraswa swara. Haraswa, yeah, swara. Okay. Then the third one, nyat. Nyat is a nit, starting with na. Okay. And because of that na, it brings in vriddhi in the anga. So kri plus nyat becomes karya. Okay. So vriddhi takes, kri becomes kar. Then ya as added, it becomes karya. And that is indicated by this na in the it as a it letter. So when the nyat is there, we must say, know that it will bring vriddhi in the angara. So these are all the basic reasons why Panini ji has added these it letters in order to give us a clue that if we use this kyap, what should be done to the anga? If we use nyat, what should be done to the angara? Okay, so this is to do with the first set of three, pratyas. Now, tavya, and aniyar, they can be suffixed to any dhatu. So, because as we have seen, yat, kyap, and nyat, it is the characteristics of the dhatu that determines which one of them can be suffixed. For example, if a dhatu is ending in a hraswa swara, then we have to use kyap. We cannot use yat because there is stuya. There is no word called stuya. Okay. Similarly, if a dhatu is ending in a akara, then we have to add only yat. And then that takes a modification, becomes ngeya. Okay. So that is how we have to understand this purpose of these it letters. Okay. Now, so far as tavya, and aniyar are concerned, I will explain them as we go forward. Okay. So yat, nyap, and nyat can be affixed only to specific dhatus depending upon their characteristics, whereas tavyat, tavya, aniyar can be suffixed to any dhatu. This is the thing we have to note about these 6 pratyas. So we will just see what are the things that these denote. First is all these kritya pratyayas denote karma, which is object, and also bhava, meaning of the dhatu itself. And as I said, the additional sense of direction, fitness, necessity, or capacity are added to the action. Content we have already seen. Ya for yat, kyap, and nyat. Tavya for tavyat and tavya. Aniya for aniyar. These are the contents of this kritya pratyas. Then we have seen the it letters already. We will also again repeat it whenever we see the individual pratyaya sections. Special modifications of the pratyaya anga, guna or vriddhi can take place depending upon what pratyaya we use. Because if it is we use kyap, because it is a kit pratyaya, guna and vriddhi are denied in that. So depending upon what pratyaya we use, guna or vriddhi can take place. Then gender of the new pratipadika. The new pratipadika declines in all three lingas. The linga is determined by the linga of the noun which the kritya ending word qualifies. Then declension of the new pratipadika. In pullinga and napumsakalinga, it declines as a ending word. Because if you see, ya ending, ya is a ending. So all three, yat, kyap and nyat, all are a ending. Then tavya, aniya and also tavya, second tavya, all are a ending. So all six pratyas are a ending. So in pullinga, napumsakalinga, they will decline just like a ending pratipadikas like Rama and all that. In strilinga, a female suffix top, a, that is added and it declines as a ending. Okay. So this is the declension of the new pratipadikas. Then Vigraha Vakyam of the Krit Vrittis, as the explanation for one Kritya Pratyaya, another Kritya Pratyaya is generally used. Example, Kartavyam, it is a Tavya. Okay. Kartavyam is used for Karaniyam. Karaniyam is Aniyam. So one Kritya Pratyaya is used for explaining another Kritya Pratyaya. Obviously, you must know the meaning of both. Then Darshaniyaha, here Aniyar, for Drishyaha. Drishyaha is Yat. So to show the meaning of fitness, use with Yogya, with Tumun ending word may be used. Okay. So Dhatum Yogyam, because Dhatum is Tumun. We will see Tumun later. Dhatum Yogyam for Deyam. This is all Vigraha Vakyas we are talking about. Suppose you have to explain. How do you explain Deyam? Deyam means Dhatum Yogyam, Deyam. Then Darshaniyaha. How do you explain? What is the Vigraha Vakyam? Drashtum Yogyaha, Darshaniyaha. So by using this word Yogya, we can also explain these pratipadikas or nouns ending with Kritya Pratyas. Then to show the meaning of capacity, Shakya is used with Tumun ending word. Tak tyaktum shakyaha tyaktavyaha. Okay. That which is possible to be given up, to be renounced. That is tyaktavyaha. Now, tyaktum shakyaha is tyaktavyaha. Then vachaniyam, that which is to be spoken, which is possible to be spoken. Vaktum shakyam vachaniyam. So these are all Vigraha Vakyas. We are not concentrating too much on Vigraha Vakyas even in Kridantas and all that. But this I'm just explaining to you that at later stages and all, when you become very, very familiar with the usage of the language and all that, this Vigraha Vakyam becomes very, very useful for us to understand. Suppose there is a Pratyaya is used and we do not know what it is, and you come across. Suppose there is a word called Deyam, and you don't know what Pratyaya is used. And whoever has written, he explained is that Dhatum Yogyam. Then you will know that Deyam means it is eligibility or fitness to give, give Dhanam rather, Dhatum Yogyam. So like that, these Vigraha Vakyas will be useful at some stage if we know it. Okay. So now we will see the individual pratyas. Yat, kyap and nyat, we will take it together. As I said, it indicatory letter, it is indicatory letter yat, kyap and nyat and their function. In yat, it is for intonation. So we don't need to worry. There is the yat doesn't bring in any change in the dhatu. Okay, just add ya and that is done. For kyap, ik is a it letter, which is a kit. Ik, it is kit. So when kit pratyaya follows, guna and vriddhi are prohibited in the anga, which I told you. So whenever we are using kyap, if the dhatu is eligible to take guna or vriddhi, we should not apply that if it is kyap. Then ip is pit. When pit pratyaya, which is a krit pratyaya follows, a dhatu which ends with a short vowel, hraswa, it is added at the at the end of the dhatu. It means tukkagama. This is what it is. It is a, like we saw stutya, that example we saw. Then nyat, in, is the it letter. It is a nit. So in can cause vriddhi, and it is for intonation. Intonation we are not going into it. That is because that is to do with swaras and all that. During Panini's time, there were no written books and all. So they used to use all these swaras for learning and also understanding the pratyayas and all that. So we need not worry about those it letters which are used purely for intonation. Okay. So among yat, kyap and nyat, as I said, the characteristics of the dhatu determines which one of them can be suffixed. We will see the example in the next slide and all that. Okay. So yat is suffixed to ach ending dhatu. Pu ending dhatus which has a short a in penultimate take yat. Though these two rules are there, to which kind of dhatus we can affix yat. These are the two types of dhatus we can generally suffix yat. One is ach ending dhatus which are ending in any ach. Ach is what? I wouldn't read ao, I ouch. So that is ach. So any dhatu ending in any vowel, they will take yat. Then pu. Pu means any dhatu ending with u, which has a short a in the penultimate. Then it will take yat. Then there are some, as usual, some special instances are there in the grammar or in the language, which depending upon those, these are all exceptions to the general rule, and we will not go into the exceptions. Rather, if we come across, then we will have to identify as yat, pratyaya. Then kyap, some specific dhatus take kyap. Then nyat is rit ending and hal ending dhatus take nyat. Again with exceptions. There are some other specific instances also. Okay. So this is the general rules for which kind of dhatu will take which kind of pratyaya amongst these three. Okay. So let us see the example of yat ending words rather. G dhatu. G is again ach, right? Ending in e plus yat, it becomes jaya. That should be, because the e in the case will take guna. So G will become J. So it becomes jaya. Jaya means that which should be conquered. Then ni, e plus yat, neya. That should be that which should be led. Then we come to a ending dhatus. At the end becomes e, then guna, which is followed by yat. So nya plus yat, it becomes nyeya. Da plus yat becomes deya. How this da becomes deya or nya becomes nyeya, we will see one example. Okay. What are all the steps that they go through and to become, deya and all that. Then pra ma plus yat becomes prameya, that which should be known. Okay. Then anustha, to practice, plus yat anushtheya. Because the star take shtutvam happens, it becomes anushtheya. Then abhidha, yat abhideya, that which should be named. Then ha plus yat heya, which should be abandoned. So these are all the meanings of different kinds of dhatus when we use yatra. Okay. So to make a word denoting an object which should be given, which is da dhatu. This is akara ending, a ending. Okay. So dha plus yat. Yat, one of the krit pratyas, is suffixed to dha dhatu to give. Because yat can be suffixed to an a ending dhatu in this sense. By addition of this suffix, da is qualified to be an anga. Now this da becomes an anga because this is attached. Now the it of yat is dropped, it is elided. So this becomes da plus ya. Then a ending ya dhatu, which is suffixed by yat, the a is replaced by e. So what happens? It will become d plus ya. Da becomes d. Then the e takes guna. Because it's a part of the dhatu, it takes guna. It becomes de. De plus ya. Then de ya. And since yat is one of the kritya pratyayas, krityas is subset of krit pratyayas, then deya is a kridanta, that which ends with krit pratyaya. Being kridanta, this is qualified to be a pratipadikam. So we can, deya will decline in all three lingas. Okay. If it is three linga, it will decline deya, it will become. Okay. So in the same manner, nyeya of dhatu nya to know, abhideya, abhida to designate or to name, etc. are made. This is how the pratipadikas are made with yat. Okay. Then e ending and issa ending dhatus. So again, these are some examples of yat. E ending is straight away, it is ach ending, so it's not a problem. But the sa ending is an exception. Then im ending, these are all, they all take yat. They are all the other specific exceptions which are dealt in the language, in the grammar rules. So pratipadi means to unfold. Plus yat, it becomes pratipadya. Because pratipadi plus yat, pratipadya. This e is dropped at the end and ya is added, right? So it becomes pratipadya, that which should be unfolded. Then jignyasa plus yat, jignasya, that which should be desired or to be known. Okay. Other examples are lab plus yat, labhya, that which should be gained. Gam plus yat, gamya, that which should be reached. So all this, I think it's in infant reader also. Earlier, we have seen some of these examples, but at that time, we didn't know what pratyaya and all that. We took gamya as a pratipadika and then declined the gamya. But now we know it is the yat pratyaya which is used, and that comes in the meaning of gamya, comes in the meaning of that which should be reached. Okay. So this is so far as the yat pratyaya is concerned. Now, some examples of kyap ending words. Stu plus kyap, stutya, that which should be praised. Then shas also takes kyap. It becomes shishya, one who is fit to be taught. Drish also takes kyap, drishya, that which should be seen. Shak takes kyap, becomes shakya, that which should be possible to be whatever to be done. Shakya, what's that? Kartum shakya, to be possible to do. Akartum shakya, possible not to do. That shakya is used in the sense of possibility. Then kri plus kyap, kritya, that which should be done. Actually, kri dhatu can take both kyap and nyat. If it takes a nyat, it becomes karaniya, because kri will become kara, right? So it will become karaniya. So we will see that also. So just to understand how stu plus kyap, they are derived. So first is stu, we add kyap to stu, then remove the it letters, then stu plus ya it becomes. And because stu ends with a hraswa, a short vowel, and kyap is a pith, one whose it is ip, as well as a krit pratyaya, a tuk agama content it is attached at the end of the dhatu. So stu plus it plus ya becomes stutya. So being a kridanta, this is qualified to be a pratipadikam. So this is the kyap pratyaya usages. Okay. Now we will see some examples of nyat ending words. So kri plus net. Sorry, I said karaniya. It was wrong. It is karya. Karaniya will come aniya. So kri plus nyat is karya, that which should be done. So as I said, kri can take kyap, become kritya, because tukagama will come. Kri plus tukagama kritya, it becomes when it takes kyap. But when it takes nyat, it becomes karya. Meaning is both is same, that which should be done. But both usages we can see in the language rather. So kri, to take away, nyat, harya, that which should be taken away. Then hal ending dhatus, take nyat, sad, to accomplish, plus nyat, sadhya, that which should be accomplished. Vach, to speak, nyat, vachya, that which should be spoken. Vach can be taken either as words or as a sentence rather. So vach plus nat can also become vakya, because this chakara takes a kakara adesha. Vakya means a sentence. So both are to do with speak only. So whenever we come across vachya, we must translate it as that which should be spoken, the words which should be spoken. And when we come across vakya, we must translate it as a sentence. But both the cases, the pratyaya is nyat. Okay. Then dah, to burn. Dahya, that which should be burned. Then ud plus pad. Ud is the upasarga, to produce. Utpadhya, that which should be produced. Then vid, to know, plus nyat. Vedya, that which should be known. Lich plus nyat. Lehya, that which should be licked. That is what is lehyam, that which should be licked. Then V plus shish, to qualify, nyat, visheshya, that which should be qualified. So visheshya, visheshana, bhava and all that we have seen. Visheshya means the noun which is to be qualified, which should be qualified. Okay. So this is so far as nyat is concerned. Okay. Then some more shuch. Now all these are all ending in consonants. You must note. Okay, they all take nyat. Shuch plus nyat becomes shochya, that which should be lamented. Yuj plus nyat, yogya, that which is fit. Well, just see, all these are taking guna. Who is taking guna become O. Who is taking guna become O. Then pujya, puj plus nyat become pujya. Then ap, then plus nyat apya, that which should be pervaded. Apnoti apya, that which should be pervaded. Up plus as, to meditate, plus nyat upasya, that which should be meditated. So all these, whenever we come across a pratipadika ending with ya, 99% it will be either yat, kyap or nyat, all these three. So with that, we can easily understand that they all carry some sort of a injunction, a direction that has to be done, to be done. That is the meaning in which all these words come. Okay. So for example, to make a word denoting an object which should be done, kri plus nyat. So again, nyat is one of the kritya pratyayas. So addition of kri, this becomes, kri becomes angara. Okay. Then remove the it letters, kri plus ya. Okay. Then being nit, Nyat causes vriddhi in the anga. So it becomes kar. Then it becomes karya. Being a kridanta, this is qualified to be a pratipadikam. Harya, similarly harya, utpadya and all, we have seen how they are made. So we must remember that whenever nyat is added, then the hraswa letter takes vriddhi. So kri becomes kar. Like that we have to understand. Kri becomes ha. Okay. Pad becomes pad. A becomes a, r becomes r, like that. That is vriddhi takes place in the anga. Okay. Any doubt or any questions till now? I know that it's very short.
Everything is gone above.
It's gone over the head.
It will go over the head only. That is why God has given us head.
But it is not within the head. It's gone over, Guruji. It's over.
First it will go over. Then it will settle down in the head.
Hope so. Hope so.
No. This is the idea is you have nothing to do with these things. The only thing you have to keep it in mind is when you come across these words, these are very small topics so far as the grammar is concerned. When you come across these words, at least you must be familiar what could be the meaning of this.
Yes, yes. I have one question, Raghuji.
Huh?
I have one question. You said yuj becomes yogya, right? It's a stupid question. I may not have understood. Why is it yogya and not yogya?
Because that jakara becomes gakara.
Oh,
You go to our old changes.
yeah, I know. See, but we are neating you and the old is gone. It's gone over there.
The old should not go. If old keeps on going, then every day you will be in the first class only.
Yeah, I know, because I was thinking everything was clear. I was breaking my head. See, chakaram becomes, never mind. Thank you, Guruji. Thank you.
Jakara, it is chakara becomes take kakara, so ja becomes ga. That becomes yogya.
Yeah.
Okay. Sanskrit is a very scientific engineered language. So you
I'm
must
not
remember
denying,
all the
but-
components.
See, when you say that, sadhya, the words are all very familiar, but only we didn't know what, especially when shlokas and Vedanta use sadhyam,
Yeah.
but yes, I
So
get it.
how those words, for example, when we come to tavyat, anir and all, we will come across mostly these generally in Shastra only.
Yeah.
Of
That's
course,
what I
in usage also we can, in fact, anir, those people who have studied the spoken Sanskrit from, what is that?
Samskrita Bharati.
Samskrita Bharati, they've got one full poem with anir. Anybody knows that poem?
I don't know.
Like Karaniyam, then Vadaniyam, so many words come. I don't fully remember that poem.
Manasa sadatam swaraniyam, vajasa sadatam vadaniyam,
Vadaniyam. Paraniyam. Correct.
Lokahitam mama karaniyam, lokahitam mama karaniyam.
Exactly. So all these are aniyam. So when you are reading that shloka, you should understand in what meaning. Karaniyam means you should do. They are all injunctions. So when we come across such words, so we must just understand this is coming in the meaning of a injunction to be done. Like that. So that is the only purpose of these lessons or this understanding this. As long as you are able to retain that, these kritya pratyayas, all of them, including tavya and tavyat are one and the same. In fact, you will not find a difference between tavya and tavyat. It is only Panini's grammar sutras, they talk about tavya and tavyat. In usage, there is only tavya. Tavya and aniyar are the two kritya pratyayas which are used. Practically, there are only 5. Yat, kyap, nyat, tavya, aniya. Aniya. Only 5 practically. So when you come across tavya, you will come, in Bhagavad Gita and all that, you will come across these usages lot. Shastra, in Upanishads also, you will come across these usages.
And Nyayam and all, it is used a lot. Nyayam, no, like
Nyayam
Nyayam.
is used a
Yeah.
lot rather. Okay.
Yes.
So
Yes.
the
Yes.
whole idea is that one is this Kridanta should be completed. Number one. Number two, you don't need to focus so much on this Kritya Pratyas as long as you just remember when you see a word Karaniyam, then you must be able to spot the Aniya there. And Aniya, you must remember, comes in the meaning of it should be done. So Karaniyam means should be done. Smaraniyam means should be remembered. So anything, we must remember that much only so far as this Kritya Pratyayas are concerned. It is more for purpose of familiarization. In fact, even our lessons and all that, very rarely you will come across this Kritya Pratyayas. So, but for completion's sake, we must learn that. Tomorrow you come across a word called Kartavya and say, oh, Raghuji has not taught me this Kartavya at all. So that you don't blame me for that, I will cover Kartavya now. I'll leave it to you to remember or not to remember. Just joking. Huh? So anyhow, so we will proceed further. This is Nyat. So become Karya. Then Tavyat and Tavya. The content of both is Tavya only. So you don't need to worry about this. And meaning is also same rather. So the it letter in Tavyat is again, as I told you, for intonation purposes. When they learned the sutras and all this grammar by memorizing it, then all this made sense. But we have not using swaras at all, so not a problem. All that you can notice, Tavya is the pratyaya. That is the practical pratyaya, which we will see a lot in the Shastras. So both pratyayas are suffixed to any dhatu, and as long as the form is seen in the Shastra. Okay. So again, the question will come, can we, attach it to any dhatu? The general answer is yes. But what it further qualifies is that what we will normally look for is if this has been used in the Shastra, this Tavya Pratyaya along with a dhatu, then that usage is accepted. If a particular dhatu is not used at all in the Shastra with Tavya, then we should be cautious about using Tavya along with that dhatu. We can use other pratyayas for that matter, but Tavya we should not use that. Okay, that's all. So similarly, example, Kri dhatu plus Tavya, Kri becomes Kar, because Guna it will take, then it becomes Kartavya. So it becomes what? To be done. Action or a thing which should be, an object which should be done. Okay, that is Kartavya. So this is Tavya and Tavyat. Then Aniyar. Aniyar, as the Refa is the it letter, again for intonation, we can ignore that. So Aniya is suffixed to any dhatu. Like Tavyat and Tavya, usage in the Shastra is seen to determine the dhatus which Aniyar can be suffixed. So now the question you will ask, how do I know all the usages in the Shastra? Well, normally people who will teach and the textbooks and all that, if they have given examples of Aniya or words are used, whoever has written the text would have taken care that this is a legitimate usage of these pratyaya. So we don't need to worry about whether it is used in the Shastra. Let me first read all the Shastras and all that. If we come across these words, then we can take it, and the best source for us is that dictionary is there, Ashtadhyayi. If we come across the word Kartavya and go to, if that is there in Ashtadhyayi, then we can find that it is Kri plus Tavya they would have given, and we know that that's a regular, normal, acceptable word in the language. That's all. So again, Kri plus Aniya. So Aniya, Aniya is added to Kri rather. So the R is elided or dropped. So Kri becomes Kar. Kar plus Aniya. Guna takes place. Then it becomes Karaniya. Okay. kara becomes, the ni becomes ni. Because the refa is preceding, so the na becomes na, which we have seen in Rama Shabdam also. If you remember, Ramasya Ramayoho Ramanam, it becomes, right? Na becomes na because of the refa which is there. So it becomes karaniya, natva sandhi. It's called natva sandhi, which takes place. So karaniya. So karaniya is a pradipadikam. Karaniyam means what? Two bar what? Karaniyam. So karaniya akaranta ending pratipadikam. Okay. This is aniyar. Now there are some examples of both tavya and aniyar which are given. Some of the dhatus take both, some take only one of the two pratyayas. So we'll see, go through these examples. Gam plus tavya or aniyar, gam can take both. So it can become gantavya or it can become gamaniya. Okay, this ma becomes na. Again, one rule we have seen earlier. So gantavya and gamaniya. Okay, object which is to be reached. Then chint takes aniyar. Chintatavya, there is no word. Chint will take only aniyar. It becomes chintaniya. The object which needs to be considered or contemplated upon. Right? Chintaniya. Nya takes tavya. Nya doesn't take aniyar. So jnaniya, there is no word. So nya and tavya, jnatavya, that which should be known. Ngeya also we saw, that is also that which should be known. So these are all different usages of this with the same meaning. Rather, some author will use ngeya, some will use jnatavya and all, that which should be known. Then tyaj plus tavya, tyaj take both tavya and aniyar. It will become tyaktavya and tyajaniya. Both it will take that. Okay. Then da dhatu plus tavya, dhatavya. That we have object to be given. Okay. Which should be given. Okay. Drish becomes drashtavya and darshaniya. Both tavya and aniyar, both it will take. Object that should be seen. To be seen. Then shru dhatu again takes both tavya and aniyar, shrotavya and shravaniya. Both are same meanings only, not different meanings, but both usages we can see in the shastras. Okay. Object which is to be heard. Then man, again it will take both mantavya and mananiya. Object which to be thought. Right? Then ni didhyasa, to contemplate, tavya, nididhyasitavya, to be object which is to be contemplated upon. Then V plus jigyasa plus tavya, vijigyasitavya, object of desire to know. Jigyasa is desire to know. Okay. Meaning of the dhatu. So all these things are all coming in these meanings. Some takes both tavya, aniyar, some takes only tavya. So we have to just, as I said, this will all depend upon what we come across whenever we are reading any text or any sloka or anything. Okay. Then there are more. Buddh takes only tavya, it becomes bodhavya. Then bujj, tavya and aniyar, bhoktavya, bhojaniya. Arab, tavya, aniyar, arabdhavya and arambhaniya. Both it can take. Object to be started. Then ram, aniyar, ramaniya, object to be rejoiced at. I think in the Pushpa Gucha we saw ramaniya word, correct? You remember? Anybody?
Yes.
Yes, Guruji.
Yeah, we saw ramaniya, correct?
Ramaniya, yeah.
At that time we didn't discuss ramaniya is what?
Aniyar.
Yeah, it is aniya pratyaya. Ramaniya means that which should be rejoiced at. It's an object which is to be rejoiced at. Ramaniya. Okay. So labdhavya, object to be obtained. Vach, again vakta and vach take both tavya, vaktavya and vachaniya. that which is to be said. Then with tavya aniya, it takes both. Veditavya vedaniya, that which should be known. Save, to serve, plus tavya, sevitavya, that which should be served. Smru aniya, smaraniya, object which should be remembered. Han takes both tavya and aniyar, hantavya and hananiya, object to be endured. Okay, so this is all, some examples. There's not an exhaustive list, rather it's some examples with which we can understand how these pratyayas are added to the dhatus. Okay, in the examples from Shastra, in Gita, it is there, 4th chapter, Brahmaivatena Gantavyam. That word is the Gantavyam is there, so that is Tavyat Pratyaya. Then in Chando, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, it is there, Atma va are drashtavyaha, Tavyat, Srotavyaha, Mantavyaha, Nitidhyasitavyaha. So all Tavyat Pratyaya. Right? Atma is something that needs to be seen in the sense understood. It should be heard about. Srotavya should be heard, should be contemplated upon. So this is what from Vedanta students rather. This is all the three, what is that? Not getting the word.
Directions.
No, there are directions. That is Srotavya, I mean, that should be heard, right? So this is a Mananam and Nididhyasanam, all that is there. So these are all directions given in the Shastra. You should do this. So these are all usages. Then Karmano Yapi Bodhavyam cha Vikarmanaha. Again, Gita. Bodhavyam, Tavyat Pratyaya, right? So we can see these kind of usages of these Kritya Pratyayas in the Shastras a lot. Normally in text and all that, general text and all, we will not see these things so much, where they will use other pratyayas to express those meanings. But in the Shastra, they will use all these pratyayas. So that we must know, when we are reading the Shastras, we must know what it means. Okay.
Now we know. Now when you taught us, I was wondering, when you used to go to Swamiji taught Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, I used to do, like Yajnavalkya teaching Maitreyi, right? I said, what does it mean? Now it makes sense. Yeah.
It makes sense, Yeah, that's why. And now when you read Upanishads, when you read Bhagavad Gita and all, you come across these pratyaya, these usages. Immediately you will remember, oh, this means something should be done. It means that. So, you see, the more you start practicing with Sanskrit, what we should do, whenever we see a particular Pratipadika, we must in our mind and try to analyze what is the dhatu and what is the pratyaya used. We may not get it immediately, but that is a very good intellectual exercise to identify every Pratipadika. Every Pratipadika is generated from a dhatu only. And we have right now done only Kridantas. Now there are so many other Tadita Pratyayas we have to do. So many are there. Right? Then we have to do also the derived dhatus, Anadhyanta Pratyayas. But at least to the extent of Kridanta, we must be able to now, okay, let me see whether any Kridanta Pratyaya which I have learned fits into this. This exercise, if you keep on doing, your own, one is your mind will be active. It will not go into tamasa mode. It will be in sattvic mode. It will be active. Number two, your own learning will improve. Your own confidence levels will improve with that. Okay. So these are the examples in the Shastra. So we'll quickly look at these sentences and identify the Kritya ending words and translate. I have done all that for you. So idam karma kartavyam maya. Maya is what? Third case, right? By me. So this action must be done by me. Karma kartavyam. Action must be done or should be done by me. Kartum shakyam akartum shakyam karma. Then shakyam is yat pratyaya. Okay. So the action is possible to do or possible not to do. Kartum shakyam, possible to do. Akartum shakyam, possible not to do. Okay. Shakyam both will be the same only. But kartum to do, akartum not to do. Okay. Then Acharya hai shishyebhya hai jneyam brahma upanishati. Jneyam is the yat pratyaya. The teacher teaches to the students, right? Shishyebhya, fourth case, to the students about Brahma, Brahman, which should be known. Jneyam, Brahma, Brahman, which should be known. Upanishati, I have taken the meaning as teachers. Okay. Acharya hai Upanishati. The Acharya teaches. The teacher teaches. Then Yoginaha kartavyena karmana ishwaram archanti. Kartavyena tavyat pratyaya. Okay. Kartavyena tavyat, third case. Okay. By action which should be done. The yogis, by the action which should be done, karmana, that is actions, kartavyena should be done, ishwaram, to Ishwara, archanti, they do archana to Ishwara. So again, kartavyena, karmana, kartavyena, action which should be done. Then atra vishaye kim vaktavyam, what can be said about this subject? Kim vaktavyam, what can be said about this? Okay. So this is again tavyat pratyaya, tavya pratyaya. Asmakam sevitavyaya acharyaya asmabihi kim karaniyam. So there is aniya pratyaya karaniyam, there is tavya pratyaya sevitavyaya. Okay. So what is the translation? Asmakam for us, sevitavyaya to do service, acharyaya to the teacher, asmabihi by us, kim karaniyam, what should be done. So for us to do service to the teacher, what should be done by us? Okay, so this is some examples I have just taken to explain the usage of these words. So what we have to note is some important. The karta of the action in the kritya ending word takes third case or sixth case. We have seen this in karmani prayoga also. Okay, karta takes its third case or sixth case. Karmani shashti, if you remember, we have done that chapter. Okay, normally karta will take a third case. Okay, because kritya pratyaya denotes karma and bhava, just as ting pratyaya denotes karma and bhava in karmani prayoga and bhave prayoga, and undenoted karta is expressed in tritiya vibhakti. That I have already explained. Kartari tritiya. Optionally, the karta is expressed in shashti vibhakti, which is karmani shashti. So here examples are Deva Dattena Gajaha Drishyate. Deva Dattena is in third case. Gajaha Drishyate. Gaja is 1 bar 1. Drishyate is Drish Dhatu. Right? Then this is Ting Pratyaya. Denotes karma and undenoted karta is in Tritiya Vibhakti. Right? The elephant is seen by Deva Datta. So the same sentence can say Deva Dattena or Deva Dattasya Gajaha Drashtavyaha. So here we have used Tavyat Pratyaya instead of Ting Pratyaya. Deva Dattena, Deva Dattasya, either way we can use Gajaha Drashtavyaha. So here also the Kritya Pratyaya denotes karma and undenoted karta is in Tritiya Vibhakti or optionally in Shashti Vibhakti. So whenever we are using this Kritya Pratyayas, the karta, because Kritya Pratyaya is karma and bhava, so they will always, the Vibhakti and Vachana of a Kritya Pratyaya has to agree with the karma of the sentence. Correct? So the karta and karma will have to be expressed in the first case, not in the second case. That is the rule for karmani and bhave. That rule applies to Kritya Pratyayas also. That you should not forget. And the karta can be used in either third case or in the sixth case, which we have already seen as karmani shashti. So this completes this six Kritya Pratyayas. On Friday, we will deal with Avyaya Krit Pratyayas. There are 3 Krit Pratyayas which are Avyayas. They are very important from our lessons point of view because we come across them quite often. So we will see that, and also this Chichana we will see on Friday. Okay, I will say the prayers, and if there are any more comments, I can take it. O Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Thank you all.
Namaste, Guruji.
Namaste.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you, Guruji.
Namaskaram.
During the weekend, after the Friday class, you can just revise all these things. So
It has to settle down. This is on now in floating in the air.
All our mouths are shut down.
Tell me something. This is the 113th class, correct?
Correct, sir.
For 113 days, everything that I have told you initially has been floating in the air only. Then have
Correct.
they not settled down? A lot of them have
Yeah,
settled down. Isn't it?
Yeah, that is
That
it.
is a learning process. So don't get nervous or put off by floating in the air. It will float in the air only. Vedanta also, initially when you listen to all that Brahman and all, it will float in the air only. But
No,
when you work on it,
since we are not in the ashrama settings, Guruji, we are not in the ashrama settings. That's the problem. We are here coming back to the samsara.
Oh,
Samsara is pulling us.
you will be subjected to this every day. Here you
Yeah.
are being subjected to it only 2 days in a week.
2 days a week, and if we get the time, we
But
do
6
that. It's
around
not
PM?
that, we see the thing.
From
Uh,
6:01
Raghuji,
PM onwards, we will be in samsara again. 6:01 PM onwards.
60 samsara again.
Raghuji, I have a question.
Yeah.
I hope I have not mistakenly said that was in Brihadaranya and Maitreya Brahmana, right? It was a dialogue between Yakevalkya and Maitreya. Okay, I just didn't want to make a mistake, That was long time ago I studied. It's still floating in the air.
No, but at least now when you study, you know what is Shrotavya, Mantavya.
Yes,
That is the
exactly.
purpose of this class.
Yes. Thank you, Raghu.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Okay, see you on Friday, all of you.
Thank you, Guruji.
Hari
Hari
Om.
Om, Guruji.
Hari Om. Dhanyawad.